Hello, my name's Terry Jones and I'm going to be doing a quick demo of a mountain scene with a little bit of fog lifting. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to think of my sky, and I really am going to put some of my sky down down all the way into the mountains, because that's going to be my foggy look, and I'm using slate and cloudy blue. It's a mountain morning. It's a little bit on the, it's a little bit on the light side, and I want to have some of that pink from the slate and the blue. I want it to kind of work together a little bit to give me a real nice cloudy look. I got a little carried away there, but I think that's going to work out okay. I am going to then put in a little bit, I might take just a little bit more of that out. I want to get more light in it, so I want to take just a little bit more of this kind of out. I'm using this coffee stirrer just to kind of pull it off a little bit. So here I go. I'm liking that sky. The next thing I'm going to do is, while it's still a little wet, because I want it a little soft, I'm going to use 3 colors and make some mountains here. So the first thing I'm going to use here, you'll notice I hold my paper kind of catty corner, and the first thing I'm going to use here is a eggplant. So I'm going to do a quick fly, and then I'm going to end up using a little bit of the currant. I'm going to put some currant in there, and I'm going to end up with a little bit of a meadow in here. So I'm just kind of sliding some of these colors down, as you see. And now I'm going to take a lot of the color off. I want this to just give me the feeling of a few little hills here. I'm going to have some of the fog come out from the hills. So I want to bring this down and give me just a few little hills here. Okay, I'm kind of liking that. I love what happened up here in that forest area, and I love this little area over here. So hopefully I can keep those. What you'll see is I'm just pushing this color off. So what happened is, you can see I've got that nice light blue showing up underneath. Okay, so that's that. And then I want to do a foreground of some sort, and it looks like it's a little bit in the probably late fall or early fall. We've got some red up there, some olive. So I'm going to go with this is a sunshine yellow, and as you see, I have just spread this on, holding it so it slides down. I'm going to take this, and I'm literally going to pull this down so that I have a field coming through here. Okay, so now I have this lovely soft sky. I have a field. I probably am going to go into the field and make it give it a little more texture here. Still has just a little bit, still wet, tiny bit. Now I can come here and do that one more time and give myself a little bit more texture, and even let it texture just a little bit more so it looks like there's some stuff happening. It's not just happening in one area. It's got a little bit of action all over. Here we go again. This is just kind of forcing those lines to stop being the lines that we kind of don't like all the time, and forcing some different colors into it. So it's an easy way of getting it to kind of work. So I already have a very light area in here. I think what I'm going to do is, I don't like the dark area over here, so I'm going to take, this is a Fantastic, and here I go. And what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to pull out a pond or a lake. They're usually, if you're we're up looking down into this place here, and so usually it'll be the far horizon will be fairly flat. Now I can also, this looks like you could have a point here, and you could also have that point in the lake, and if you pull this far horizon flat, that almost looks like it's a point there. So that might work. So here I go, flat, and I'm just going to take that color out, and it's coming back to that lovely blue that I have there. So now this is what I'm not sure whether it's going to work or not. So what I want to do now is I want to, like I did the lake, I want to pull some fog. You know, I want to have this lovely ground, you know how the fog happens. So here I'm literally lifting off some of the color and trying to leave a nice, trying not to get too dark of a line on the top. I'm going to work on that dark line a little bit. And what I also am doing is I'm continually pulling out, or taking the color off of my Fantastic here. So I'm just kind of mushing around here, trying to get that to look a little bit like fog, and I think it actually is working. I like how that little edge thing that I did, I kind of did this with the edge, works to kind of soften it in places, and I can go back in and I can pull out more. And I can, you know, imagine that it's in this part of the valley right here, because that's what happens with the fog, especially in the mountains where I'm at. It just kind of lays in these little teeny hills. So you'll just see a little teeny bit of it, and then you can soften it with the tip. So here I've got just a little bit, and you know, it doesn't have to be really huge big clouds. It can be softer. You know, the Smoky Mountains have a lot of these little foggy areas, and they don't cover all of it, so you can kind of play a little bit with these clouds. The big secret is to continually clean off what you're using for a brush. Okay, so if I continually clean this off, and every once in a while I might even want to connect the one fog to the other fog. Let's see, and clean it off, and clean it off, and clean it off. I have a little dot there, so I might want to put just a little bit of fog rising in here, and I might even pull that over so it looks like it's coming off of here, and getting it dark, cleaning off my brush. So it really is just a matter of keeping everything really soft. There's hardly any alcohol in this Fantastic. As you can see me when I do this, there's hardly any alcohol in it, and yet it picks up the color. Now, because I put the sky all the way down, that blue that's behind it is going to kind of stay behind it, because I put a little bit of blue. I did that kind of intentionally so that it didn't, so that I had something to work with there. And I'm going to put a little bit like it's coming off of this little, I've got it on the water here, coming up, cleaning off, cleaning off. So what you find is at least where I'm from, usually the fog is behind the hills. So it's trying to raise out, but there's a line here where it, you know, you can really see that it's raising from behind something. So it looks like clouds are sitting on the bottom somehow. And then sometimes it connects, and then sometimes you see little pieces coming through because it connects through. So you would sometimes see this. And then here we go. And I'm trying to, I don't want to make this too out of control, but I do want to get a little more. So here I've got that. I want to soften this a little bit, I think. And there's some stuff coming off this. I want to make sure that this pond looks a little pondy with a little bit of softness, and it would be kind of soft sometimes. You can see it kind of raises out of the valleys, or this could, instead of being a pond, it could be a little bit of fog in one of there's a valley down there that's full of fog, because that happens sometimes too. I'm liking that idea, and I think I'll put just a little over here, like there's a little more there. It really would help if I had a piece that I'm working with, which I don't. Oh, I like the look of those trees against that fog. Let me get this softer. The brush one of here is a little, to me, it's a little easier to use than the bullet tip one for this particular reasoning, kind of, or this particular thing. And then I may even want to take a couple of these, and again, I need to get them to go up into, the fog is rising. It's going to end up in a little bit of clouds up here in the sky. So I'm going to continue with a little bit of sky clouds. And the sun just went out, so I'm hoping that you can see what I'm doing, because this is, let's mush just a little bit there and mush just a little bit there, though I really like that tree, the line thing that happened there. Okay, so now I think I'm pretty happy with that. I might end up with just a few more, let me see, that's pretty foggy. It's not quite lifting totally yet. I love that mountain in that background. I don't want to mess with it. I want to give this just a little more. Well, maybe I don't. So basically I just keep on doing this till it feels right, and it's feeling pretty right now. I may want to put just a little bit of tiny, maybe there's a little bit of rising fog here, and it's not always everywhere, so if I just put little teeny bits there, it will hopefully kind of make you think that the mist is already risen in certain places. Okay. Now the question is, do I want to put anything else? It's still rising, 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 rising. So I would say that's one way of doing fog. I might even, because this is a early morning, I might even put a little tiny bit of a misty moon in there, or misty sun. So I think that if I had a sun, it would be coming right from this area here. So that was just one dot, and now I'm going to pull it off. So I hope that that looks a little like, let me get a little bit of fog to just go right across that. Yes, I like that. Oops, now see, and this is when you should stop because you're getting carried away. But I think I'm going to call that a fog day. And that's about it. I think that that's been reasonably successful. I don't like that line there. I'm going to actually make that just look like a big foggy cloud in the mountain. I think I like that better. Okay, well, I think that that's going to be called my fog. Thank you for watching. Bye.